everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nwabi, and as per usual I am here to Nwabi so on this gorgeous and beautiful evening. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do not leave without pressing that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload. If you're not new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning back in, and I hope you all enjoy this video. It's another beauty and the binge where I talk about what I'm binging while I do a look inspired by the binge and wearing an outfit recreated from the binge. Today we are binging Blood and Water. This is a Netflix series that is South African. It is South African and it just got released this year. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you through the first episode, and then I'm going to have a full summary of what I feel about the series, and I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing today. So let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, my background is this color because it's very much inspired by the cover of Blood and Water, which I'm going to be popping up here. And then second of all, here is the outfit that I'm wearing. It is inspired by this picture that I saw on Instagram, which is part of the PR and promo pictures of Blood and Water, and I'll be popping that right over here. If you haven't watched my first Beauty and the Binge, I was talking about 365, and I will have it up here somewhere. Do check it out. I cringed throughout, but that is a review that you need to check out right after this one. We get started with the series. This is the first episode. We get started with our main character on her bed. This is not anything significant, but we get introduced to our main character, whose name turns out to be Buleng, and her family. They're celebrating a birthday party. Hey, you would think that the birthday celebrate Buleng or her brother, but it's a birthday for her long lost sister, who was apparently abducted whilst still a baby and whilst they were still in hospital. Not sure if they were still in hospital or what, but the child got abducted whilst they were still a baby. And during this party, Upuleng has this friend of hers who's begging her to go out, but because of the party and because things are happening, it's like a sad day, she kind of blows her friend off. Went to this party. The long lost sister has a 3-tier cake. A 3-tier cake. She has a 3-tier cake, but she's long lost. And as Buleng voices this, she voices this out, she voices her feelings out to her mother about this. And as Buleng, I too would be very stressed or would be very upset with my sister who is lost, who no one knows where she is, having this huge ass birthday cake to celebrate her birthday, whereas I get taken to Spur. But that basically opens up the series. And as a first episode, I have to say, before I even get to the end of this video, this first episode had me intrigued. It's like, sometimes pilots don't really do that for you. Sometimes I watch pilots and first episodes of series and I'm like, okay, no, I don't need to watch anymore because I would get bored at this. And as that scene was an opening scene, it really had me intrigued. It had me thinking, you know what, I need to watch this. I need to see what goes on in this story. Anyway, there's also tensions between her mom and dad, of which you would expect tensions because it tends man lendo yokuba kulahleka umntana 17 years yonke, because the child is lost for 17 years. So in this tension and everything, Buleng gets annoyed and Zama has been saying to her, let's go out. So she ends up agreeing to go out with Uzama to go to this party. She doesn't know what party she's going to, but some guy on Zama's Instagram, they DM'd each other and whatever, and she was invited to this lavish house party. Then a girl sneaks out because she had a little bit of a tiff-taff with her mom during this party when she was voicing out her frustration, and when she was voicing out that she doesn't like this thing of every year they celebrating her lost sister Pume's birthday. So she has an argument with her mom, and in having that argument she sneaks out to end up going out with her friend Uzama. They go to this party. They go Nozama to this party, which is in the burbs, where the rich kids are partying it up. They're in the burbs, and this house party is like lavish and it's huge. It's at this huge mansion in the burbs. By the way, why does every high school TV show or movie have to have some sort of house party going on with it? Like, for real? Like, really? But in high school, I do know that there were a lot of house parties in my time, but they mostly happened during school, which is the funny thing here, is that it's happening at night. But that's from my experience. So I don't know other people's experiences, but most of house parties and get-togethers and stuff like that happened during or while school is happening. So people would bunk school in order to attend these parties. But anyway, they're at this party. Side note, Uzama as a friend is horrible, because immediately as they go into this party, Uzama disappears with the dude. Zama is so mean. I hate to admit it, but I'm that person. So if, let's say, I'm at a party and indodam ipa muti ndidisapirishile, muti ndi ndibene private time apha kule party, because kaloku at the end of the day indodam ilapha, asoze ndithi indodam ilapha ndibe ndi off ndingekho well within my man. But anyway, at this party ke Uzama just disappears. Iwesipuleng walks in on Uzama getting head from Uzama's man, but that's not important. That was so hilarious. But anyway, so Puleng is annoyed at this party because Uzama has disappeared. But while she has disappeared, she's just sitting there somewhere, and she tries to go get a drink. Okay, and that is where we meet Ufikile whilst she's trying to get a drink, right? And this party basically gives us a foundation of the characters, because we literally meet most of the cast. We meet the main characters in the story. We meet, and you know what, these characters, they're the usual pack when it comes to high school movies and series. We have the sexually fluid or gay bestie. We have the it girl, which would be Ufikileke in this case. We have the resident hottie, which is Karabo, and we have the best friend, which is different this time, because normally the best friend is black and the main character is white, but we have the best friend who's now white. I forgot her name. I didn't even bother to learn her name because she did give me a sort of an irritating element. But we have the resident bestie. But what I like about this is that even though these characters are stereotypically or typically in these types of movies and films, these characters weren't stereotypical in terms of their personality and in terms of their character. So that's something I like from the get-go. So anyway, Puleng is trying to get a drink at the bar, but she can't, and that's where we get introduced to Ufikile, because Fikile helps her out. Fikile is like, no, you know what, girlie, let me be your friend. Fikile is very sweet in the start, at the beginning. She's like very sweet. She's like, you know what, let me help you out. She calls the bartender and she gets Puleng a drink. In getting her a drink, they just get chatting a little bit. Ooh, Fikile is like, Bana, I like your cardigan. It's just, you know when you're in a house party, this house party is totes different. I don't know how rich people live it up, but this house party has a whole bar, has a photo booth. This house party is a full-on party, and I probably would have fun at it as well. But anyway, Fikile gets her a drink and they just talk just a little bit, and this doesn't really intrigue or doesn't really spark Puleng's interests, right? So Puleng gets her drink and she just goes and sits by the side, and whilst she's sitting by the side, she hears a phone ringing, which turns out to be Wade. Another character, or main character. Wade is our resident goofball. You know, we need that goofball guy best friend who stays in the friend zone, but he's super into our main character. That is Wade. So we meet Wade, and Wade is like the photographer. So Wade sees Puleng, this cutie. Puleng is very beautiful, by the way. He sees Puleng, this cutie, and he's like, you know what, let me take pictures of you. And they start chatting it up, and they start chatting, and they start chatting. And in chatting, Wade shows Puleng a picture of Fikile, shows Puleng Fikile's picture, and he's like, hey, you know what, you and Fikile kind of look the same, like your features, because Wade is a photographer, right? He knows these angles and everything. He's like, you know what, judging by photographs, your features look and they look very similar. You guys like kind of look alike. And Puleng is like kind of intrigued, but not really. She's just like, oh, I met her at the bar, so I don't really see it. And then whilst Wade is like, you guys look very familiar or look similar, Chris, which is our resident gay bestie, not really gay, but our resident sexually fluid bestie, he announces hey, we're celebrating Fikile's birthday. So that Ngoqo gets Puleng very interested and very intrigued, because Puleng is like, okay, it's her birthday, how old is she? And then Wade is like, she's 17. And then she just puts 1 and 1 and kind of gets 3, because she just gets very intrigued by, oh, okay, you're saying our features look very similar, and she's celebrating her birthday today. Mind you, this is the same day as her long lost sister Pume. So that doesn't get taken into very much deep context or anything like that, but she just gets intrigued and she gets kind of interested in this, right? And you know what, I'm realizing that a lot happens in this first episode, because on top of Puleng walking into her friend Zama getting some head, she also bumps into or sees Fikile making out with some mystery dude. Turns out mystery dude, as we go into the series, is actually Fikile's swimming coach, which I have kind of like a lot of problems with that, because power dynamics and all, it's like your teacher dating you, kind of like, it's like very similar to that. And in terms of power dynamics, it's not really that great of a good looking picture, but the way in which they handle it is kind of a little bit offish to me when it does come out, but you have to watch the series for this. It's kind of a little bit off, because I really don't want to say that the girl who's in this relationship, because at the end of the day she's of the age of consent, but the age difference, the fact that you might coach, consent is a very blurred line when it goes there, because as the person who has more of the power, in inverted commas, I feel like it's more of your responsibility not to go there than it's the responsibility of the person who's at the less of a power advantage position. Like, I know we're both responsible because we both consented to this relationship, but you as my swimming coach, I feel like that's more of your responsibility than it is mine. Do you get what I mean? But anyway, we're not there. I'm not gonna focus too much on that. That's just like a dynamic of mine that is kind of iffy, but they do handle that in its own way. You'd have to watch the show for that. But anyway, time to go home. Wade is like, oh, can I follow you on Instagram? And she's like, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. You know most how things happen when you meet someone. Like, let's follow each other on Instagram so that we can get to know each other. Then she goes home. Then in going home, she sneaks back in. For her to sneak back in whilst her mother is sitting in her bedroom and is like, why ungaphenduli phone? But guess she sneaks back in. That's crazy. And that's where she just kind of like thinks a lot about things. She thinks about this party and she just has like flashbacks of Ufikile, and she keeps seeing Fikile and she's very much intrigued. Yeah. And Upuleng is at school and she really can't get Ufikile out of her mind. I don't know what clicked or what made her not forget her. Like, I think that comment that Wade made about them looking very alike and very familiar, that just like triggered her somehow. But anyway, she just can't get her mind out of it and she's very much distracted. We go to the locker room and in this, like, she was playing was a hockey match anyway. So we in the locker room and some girl is like now beefing with her and is going on about how she's so distracted, wada. They exchange words and this girl says something like, at least I don't, or your father should have sold you, or some shit like that. Hey, Buleng throws hands first. Questions are asked later. Love her energy. Love it. And Upuleng, she's very confused about what the hell are you guys talking about. But she gets into this fight with this girl, and then in waiting for her disciplinary, Uzama, her friend, tells her, dude, like, did you see this article that says that your dad is involved in the kidnapping of your sister and he sold your sister to some child trafficking ring? Which is like, plot twist, like, what is going on? But Puleng's very confused, but she still has to deal with Lindo, but she just came up from a fight. Also, I'd like to highlight the way in which the disciplinary was treated. Upuleng is very, I don't want to say triggering, but it's very familiar, because you'd find that the person who started the fight is being treated like a victim, whereas Buleng, who was retaliating, Buleng didn't attack the girl. The girl first slapped Buleng and Buleng was like, it's time to go, girl. The girl said some really mean things to Buleng and started the whole tiff and started the whole fight. But because Buleng attacked her, or because Buleng didn't attack her with words and attacked her physically, that girl is treated like a victim, and Buleng is the one who gets punished and gets a disciplinary hearing, not that girl, because she is the victim. We all know why. I do want to say that the side stories and the side kind of like plots of the series are very much decadent of our realistic high school experiences. Like they give me that kind of feel by, hey man, I've gone through this before. But anyway, so this article gets Upuleng curious, and it gets Buleng thinking by, yeah man, you know what, I can actually do the police's job and I can probably do it better than them. Who cannot? The article about her dad and everything that Wade said and her not being able to get Fikile out of her mind just gives her this curiosity, which is like, you know what, I think I need to solve this. Because now she has her suspicions that maybe Ufikile could be her sister. And wait, DMs her and invites Upuleng to this gala thing at his school, because Puleng and Wade go to different schools. So the first thought Upuleng has is a DNA test, which is like a very good direction, because you know what, before you even get your theory started and before you even go ahead with investigating your theory, just make sure that your theory pans out by getting a DNA test and making sure that what you're thinking is actually the truth. So this gala that Wade invited her to is a great opportunity to do that. So because curiosity always kills the cat, in her curiosity, Puleng goes to this gala, and I have to say, girlie is not stealthy at all. Like, she tries and gets I don't know if she's trying to like get maybe like a strand of hair or something, but she tries and gets like maybe a brush or something in Fikile's bag, because Fikile is swimming at this gala. Apparently she's very athletic. So Fikile is swimming at this gala, and she tries and gets her bag, because her bag is just sitting there on its own. First of all, she tries and does this during the people. Girl, people will see you. Obviously you won't be able to do that, but yeah, anyway, that fails. And during this gala, while she's at this gala, she totally forgets that she has a disciplinary hearing. So in failing to get into Enentoka Fikile, she rushes to her disciplinary hearing. Coming out, the police are there waiting for her dad. The police are there waiting for her dad. Hey, why are they there? Like, why are they arresting her dad at the school? Like, they could have done it anywhere else. They had to arrest him at the school. A lot is just happening, a lot. There's already tension between her mom and her dad, because I think 17 years umdana really does build tension. Shame, I won't even lie. I don't think that things wouldn't be tense, like, because her dad got arrested at her school. This gives Upuleng the opportunity to be like, she wants to change schools. She's like, she can't go back to her school. She needs to go somewhere else. When her mom asks her, what do you suggest, or what school do you suggest we go to, or you go to, she asks her mom,
have you ever heard of Parkhurst High?
That is where our first episode ends. Let's not forget, Parkhurst is the school that Ufikile goes to. So this basically sets the foundation. This is why I say, this series is actually, like, the first episode of the series is very intriguing, because this sets the foundation and you really want to know, okay, what is going on. So based on this first episode, I have to say that this series was actually quite a great watch. I really enjoyed watching it. Very original. It's like a different story. It's not a story we used to. It's not a story we've watched on TV. I don't think I've watched anything similar to what we've. It just keeps you wanting to know what happens next. And also I mean, even though they were kind of like the normal tropes and the normal gay best friend, hot guy who's going to be the main character's boyfriend, it girl, you know, as much as it was kind of like the main type of people or type of characters we have in a series or in a movie, they weren't stereotypical. It was very different, you know. It wasn't like the it girl is this bad bitch who is a bitch to everyone and everyone hates, like the popular queen bee. It's not anything like. Who is dark skin as a lead. It has a dark-skinned young woman as a lead. This is really something great, and it's really a positive change, especially with the conversations of colorism in literally everything that is mainstream. There's a lot of colorism in mainstream. This is mainstream media, mainstream TV, and the fact that this story has a black lead is really, and it's very realistic in terms of high school experiences. There's a lot of real in terms of when I say it's non-stereotypical in terms of the characters, like for example the guy Chris, who said he's pansexual, yeah, so it's not really made a big deal, the fact that he's pansexual. It's just the only issue comes when he is pansexual, and I think he's also kind of like polyamorous or he's kind of like polyamorous. So it's an issue that he doesn't disclose that to whom he's involved with, to both the guy and the girl that he's involved with. He doesn't disclose the fact that he is polyamorous, of which I don't understand, you know. So I really like that. And even in the acting, there's iffy acting here and there, but in terms of the series, it's actually quite a good show, and I definitely recommend that you give. If I do have some sort of critique, whoever was scoring this, they need to do a better job. Like, I know Unastasi was in his bag with this and it was his time to shine, but listen, we don't really need a juice bag moment. Kodwa kuyaliwa. So the person who's scoring this thing definitely needs to do a better job when it comes to the music and the way in which, or the sort of song that plays after a certain scene or after a certain moment. Otherwise it was great. And also I didn't like Fikile's personality. I don't know, man, she had this persona like, I'm so innocent and I talk like this and I'm the perfect girl, you know, but deep down, you know, that is not the tea, sis. That is not the tea. But other than that, guys, this series was quite good. I really rate it, and if I have to give it a rating out of 10, I give it an 8 because it's got a great plot, it's got a great premise, it's original, the cast is diverse, and it's not stereotypical characters. I feel like this series really did a great job, and I'm super excited for season. Tell me in the comments, what did you think about it? Did you think it was good? Are you going to watch season 2? If you haven't watched it, why haven't you? Please watch it. It deserves your time. So this is my final look, guys, that is inspired by the Blood and Water cover. Got my braids. I'm really channeling Upuleng right now. I have got my braids, and this is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Be sure to check it out. Definitely check this one out. It's really worth the watch. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Tell me, what else would you like for me to review? What other series, what other movie? And it definitely does not have to be anything that is exclusive to Netflix. It can be from anywhere. I have got unlimited Wi-Fi, so I can watch anything from any site anyway. So tell me in the comments what else you'd like for me to see. What did you enjoy about this review? Tell me if you have watched Blood and Water, what you loved about it. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials at Nwabi Ngoqo_. That is both Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Ciao.